Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another video. Today, I want to talk to you guys about plans, visions, mapping out business for the rest of the year. It is officially Q4, and we ran a training this morning with our coaching clients talking about some changes and tweaks that we're personally making. So, we're going to dive right in, and I'm going to talk to you guys about this. And the main reason I want to do this is because getting clarity on bottlenecks in your own business and then planning accordingly is crucial. And I think right now is a perfect time to do this because everybody likes to reflect on the quarters, the end of the year, planning for the future and stuff like that. And this is fresh on my brain and something that we just did with our coaching clients this morning. So I figured I would pull up a presentation and kind of riff through some of the slight tweaks that we're making inside of our own business in hopes of helping you guys kind of map out and visually represent how you guys can start doing this for yourselves. Now, full transparency, we're not really like coming into the last quarter of the year, redefining our entire business or changing everything about what we do. We've been utilizing the same exact approach and model in our business since 2021. It works extremely well, has worked extremely well for us and students. Students have used it to do millions of dollars in sales online. They're actually kissing around $3 million in sales. We've done over $1 million with one product utilizing this process. But we are making some slight tweaks as far as marketing messages and outcomes that are talked about as far as the offers that we're actually selling. So you guys have probably seen me reference some type of picture very similar to this because this is the model that we use, right? So we got our public social media content. Should probably throw YouTube in here because I'm doing a YouTube video right now. A big part of our business is utilizing all of the social media content, and we're driving everybody to a free group, right? This is the ultimate goal of this content that we create over here on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. Is usually the primary objective is to get people into our free group. This is our main nurturing platform where we put a lot of energy into it. We create content in there every day. There's workshops in there. There's free workshops. There's low ticket workshops, all kind of helping people get to certain stages in business. So the one thing that we're going to be playing around with a lot is like different outcomes for people at different stages inside of our business and where they're potentially at and where our programs or our products are actually going to take them to. And that's from a free community standpoint and our low ticket offer standpoint, right? Like when somebody comes into our free group, we have a $10 offer. I think it's like 36 videos, 10 to 20 pages of like resource documents and implementation folders and all that type of stuff around how we built our first six figures, how I did my first six figures online in 2021 with just utilizing my Facebook profile and my social media account that I was already on daily. So that's kind of the A to Z game plan and roadmap that somebody will get when they jump into the free group or they grab the $10 offer. Now, we do have a free workshop inside of our community as well that kind of breaks down that on a little bit of a lower level, 10,000 foot overview of the entire process. Now, the reason we do this is we utilize a lot of the stuff that happens inside of our group to then fuel our content externally, right? If I go create a piece of content inside of the group, I can turn around and talk about how I just dropped a free training over inside the community, all about how you can write your first profile post that will generate a $1,000 sale, as an example. So now one big tweak that we made coming into quarter four of the year is we actually ended up restructuring the pricing of one of our signature offers. Earlier this year, we rolled out a membership for our Group Juice program, which is our signature offer, has been like the centerpiece, one of the main monetization vehicles for the last few years, right? We've sold it 690 times at a minimum of $1,000. And earlier this year, we rolled out a $100 a month membership. And then last month, we did a little promotion where we did a $30 a week membership. But we officially removed the monthly and the weekly option to join Group Juice. Now, one of the main reasons that we did this is because it being so cheap and readily available for a lot of people is it was pulling in a lot of the wrong audience, right? Everybody wants to talk about, poor leads and and bad potential, marketers or whatever. But with the really low price point, it was pulling out a lot of not the best customers. People that were coming in and like staying in for 2 days and wondering why they weren't getting results, or coming into it thinking that they were just going to make a bunch of money extremely quickly and then not putting in any work. And based on the actual data that we have from when we ran this offer, because we've had this offer for years at this point, when it was $1,000 to get in, it was actually pulling. There was a lot more client results. There was a lot more wins. People were taking it a lot more seriously versus, hey, I paid $100 for this program. I don't really care about it. I'm just gonna like maybe do this, right? So we officially did remove the $100 a month and the $30 a week option. Now you do see this 555 discount, which is you can only get access to if you are in our free group and you end up purchasing via the email campaign that gets fired when you join the community. There is a little 3-day automation that fires, and if you don't end up grabbing it then the price is $950 a year. Still an absolute steal. As I've mentioned, we've sold this program 690 times at a minimum of $1,000. It was $1,500 all year last year. So it's actually cheaper than it was when we initially launched it. So that's one major change that we made. And then another one that we are coming into the Q4 of this year is we're actually running a lower tier of our coaching program. For the last 3 years, we've run a signature offer, Core Accelerator, which is our back end coaching program where we kind of cherry pick and hand select people that want to come work closely with us. It's either $500 a month or $1,000 a month per client, depending on the package that you actually pick. Now, the biggest problem that we've seen with this is it's not a very digestible price point if if the people aren't already moving very well in business, right? If they're not already cranking out $5,000 to $10,000 a month, it's just hard to swallow, right? So we're actually rolling out a cheaper package, which is $250 a month, or $1,250 for 6 months, or $2,000 for the entire year. Which this basically just plugs people into every single program, every product, every offer, every tactic, strategy, a couple weekly coaching calls directly with us every single week, for $2,000 for the year, right? So one of the main reasons we wanted to do this is because over the years we've been working with a lot of people. We've worked with thousands of students, and this has kind of always been the centerpiece, the main baby that we eventually want to get people inside of and work with people closely. But the price tag is hard to swallow for people who are fairly newer in online business. And by newer, I mean, less than $2,000 to $3,000 per month, which obviously we do have the bandwidth to help people that are doing $10,000 or $20,000 a month because, that's what we've done. But we're branching it down even into a lower package, which virtually allows us to have more scope to let newer people to online business inside of the rooms with us, get direct access to us, direct coaching from us, and they virtually get to start building their business through the lens of how we are running and building our own 7-figure business at a bit of a discount, right? Because we've never ran core for that cheap. So those are the main changes we're actually making with our offers. As I mentioned, the offers aren't necessarily changing, or the model that we're running isn't really even changing. It's purely just we're going to really start testing and playing around with different types of outcomes for people at different stages in our business. So as an example, for someone who comes in the free group and grabs the hidden 100K business plan, which is, the $10 offer, A to Z roadmap to making your first $1,000 online, setting up and building your business in real time without all the tech, without all the automations, without all the complex stuff, and then ready to make your first or next sale, right? Group Juice, your A to Z roadmap to making your first $10,000 profit online. As we've done with a ton of different students, right? We just shipped out 2 more awards for people inside of Group Juice who just crossed 100K in their own business, right? And neither of them are promoting our stuff as an affiliate. Process to adding an extra 500 people to a community of your own. 7-step process to put an idea of your own to market that is a digital product that produces cash. This is a really cool one that we've been using for a very long time that is very powerful, is our winning workshop flow. Ultimately, how to put a workshop inside of your community that lets you grow your group on autopilot, but also onboard clients and close deals without all the mess, right? Like you have this streamlined process of taking people from your social media, running them from your free group, and then onboarding them as a client inside of your pay to offer. If you guys look at our actual business model, this is exactly what I'm talking about, right? Utilizing content over here to grow the group, which then fuels this actual paid offer, something we've been doing for years. Another outcome we'll be playing around with is content vaults, content banks for people to use and model, right? We've been saving content for years that we've personally used to sell every product, every promotion, every launch that we've done over the years. We have all of them, right? And we just give our group juice students every post, every template, every resource, conversations, etc., that are actually closing deals. And then the outcomes we're going to be playing around with for core is takes you to consistent 5K plus months. This is primarily for tier one, right? We do have people in tier two doing $10,000, $20,000 a month, right? We just helped a client do a $15,000 launch in 7 days. But this is again for tier one is primarily going to be for people that are a little bit earlier in business and don't already have a bunch of infrastructure or experience in place, right? Offer launch, putting an offer of your own to market. This could be a bonus stack on top of an affiliate offer, or even a on top of an MRR product or a digital product, or literally creating your own thing start to finish, right? It's really not that complex, especially when you start looking at different ways to do it. A profitable campaign under their belt, fine-tuned process to generating sales on demand through leveraging our 8-week cash flow class. A couple months ago, we actually ran an 8-week class, a little intensive with people, where we walked them through the entire process of creating your offers, promoting your offers, selling your offers, and the whole shebang. And the biggest element is of core in general is it's done with you. Okay, like it's not it is a hybrid of a self-paced course, but it's also it's done with you, right? We're there with you. We're supporting you personally. We're giving you direct feedback, and we're personally mentoring you every step of the way inside core. And then also we'll write you a 90-day tailor-made plan. We'll get on a one-on-one call with you. We'll map out we'll look at your current business, where you're currently at, look at bottlenecks, look at problems that you're currently facing, and kind of write you a plan to actually get to where you want to go. Now, these are all outcomes that we will be testing, tweaking, front loading inside of our content to get data to see what would hit best. It's not necessarily that we're going to be including, or these are all kind of related to the things that are already inside of our programs and our offers, but we are going to be testing and putting content out around these different angles to see what hits best, and then kind of utilize that to rebrand a little bit and change the outcomes of the same programs. Now, the real reason that we're actually kind of putting a fresh coat of paint on a lot of our offers is because it's going to make marketing easier. Now, this is something that a lot of people will not talk about. Okay, you don't have to be the end all be all for everybody, but your content and your marketing and your sales processes get really easy and streamlined when you can start nailing very specific outcomes, very specific end goals, targets, metrics that the customers or the people that come into your offers are actually going to hit. So that's something we're going to be testing and personally playing around with a lot, because over the years, a lot of our programs have gotten so big. Like realistically, Group Juice has like 259 lessons inside of it, an absolute monster of a program. And that's like a fraction of what's inside of core, right? So utilizing content that's like, hey, it'll just help you do everything. It'll just help you do anything you want. Like, that's not a sexy angle. That's not a compelling angle to get your audience to move. It just makes your job harder when it comes to actually marketing and promoting your products and your services, because there's not a crystal clear, hey, this is for a brand new beginner who's looking to generate their first $1,000 online through content creation and XYZ, as an example, right? So we're going to be doing a lot of like testing and tinkering and rebranding a little bit of our offers to utilize the information that's inside already, or information that we end up adding to help with brand new outcomes and deliveries, or where end goals for the actual customers inside. Now, again, I wouldn't necessarily make guarantees that are unrealistic or promise outcomes that aren't a real thing. As I mentioned, with this whole list of things that I ran through, are already things that are inside of our programs and our offers and our offer stack. We're just going to be playing around and testing a bunch of different content angles on the front to see what our audiences are currently struggling with the most. And then we'll use that data to turn around and use that to fuel the content, and then in turn fuel the actual offer. Now, this was a little bit of a ramble video, but we do have people in the paid group that specifically asked me to run a video on this and talk about some of the tweaks and some of the changes that we're currently making. So I figured I would spin it into a YouTube video as well. But I think it's always a good time to reflect on things that you're currently doing in your own business. Look at places that you personally want to improve, and then start planning on how to do that accordingly. Now, we probably won't end up changing or tweaking all of these things at once. It will kind of be slowly, one piece at a time, right? We're not trying to come into it and change up 3 different offers, all our different content, and do all that different stuff. But it is things that we are going to be putting some energy into over the coming months, right? The first one that will be coming out will be our new branch of our coaching program, which we haven't officially announced publicly. So this is actually probably one of the first pieces of content that has been posted about it, and kind of publicly airing out what will actually be going on behind the scenes there. But realistically, that's a part of running a business, right? I don't have it all figured out. Anybody who tells you they do is literally lying. It's all a game of testing, optimizing, tinkering, and refining your processes to accelerate the goals and the results that you're actually getting online. So that's where a bit of our energy is going to be for the rest of the year. And I'd be curious to hear about where your plans and your visions are for 2025. So let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.